Hey guys, I'm going to do a Splarshy analysis. Today I'll be looking at the question, when did Jackie Chan become a legitimate actor? Okay, so let's get into this. In 1985, Jackie Chan appeared and starred in an American movie called The Protector. Jackie often clashed with director James Glickenhaus on how the movie should be. And in many different interviews over the years, including one on the Shout Factory double feature of Protector and Crime Story, and one from last year from the Protector 88 Films Blu-ray, Glickenhaus says that Jackie, at the time they made The Protector in 1995, was not really an actor, and he was a far way away from that. Now, this statement made some fans feel defensive, and fans were annoyed by his statement. But to me, in all fairness, I think it is a fair assessment. Because in 1985, when Jackie made The Protector, he really was not an actor yet. Because you see, he had appeared in films as a child, and then, just show up and appear in the movie, basically. And then, in the early 70s, when his training ended at the academy, he was a stuntman in movies, and then he went up to being a stunt coordinator. So, anybody that knew him in the business at the time knew him strictly for stunts and action. And then in 1973, Jackie appeared in a couple movies for this great filmmaker, Mu Zhu. I think that's how you say it. And in 1975, he appeared in another film for him. And these three films are 1973's Eagle Shadow Fist, 1973's Young Tiger, and 1975's Known as Surprises. And he appeared in a couple more films for this director, but these are the three I want to bring up because in the Eagle Shadow Fist and Young Tiger, Jackie is clearly there for the action. Even though he has parts in both these movies, he's clearly there for the action. He's not showing any actual acting ability at this point. And it's funny because in 1975's No End of Surprises, which is 10 years before The Protector, that Mu Zhu goes for a similar approach as Glickenhaus does. And Glickenhaus's approach is, it's not dramatic, it just happens. We did it. And it was a very interesting approach. In that movie, No End of Surprises, Jackie attacks and kills two women with a knife, and he has a couple of other scenes, but the way they present it is just as, and it happened. And it's not trying to really evoke any kind of dramatic feeling. It's just being straightforward and more truthful to how things are, which I find to be a real treat. But it's not Jackie acting because it's just straightforward. It's what we did. In a way, it kind of transcends the idea, but it's not because of Jackie. And the next films he'd do, like when he would become part of the Lowe company, get a contract to make movies for Lowe, he was doing films like New Fist of Fury and Shaolin Men, where he's not acting, and then in Killer Meteors, where he's not. And he did a film called To Kill with Intrigue. And this started Jackie's long approach of doing a dramatic character by making them somber and moody and not really showing much variance in behavior, stone-faced. And Jackie would often utilize this to play dramatic parts in lieu of acting, just to do that instead. And over the years, you see, because shortly after To Kill with Intrigue, a few movies later, Jackie broke out with Snake and the Eagle Shadow. It was a box office success for his comedy. So you see Jackie appearing in all of his films around that time. Snake and the Eagle Shadow, Drunken Master, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, Fearless Hyena, all these movies. And he is reacting but only to the comedic things. And you see in those movies at the time, he only reacts to comedic things. Even when he did a couple of more serious kind of films, like in 1985 he did Heart of the Dragon as well as The Protector, and in 1989 he did his directorial feature Miracles, where he just kind of shows up. And then The Prisoner is also that stone-faced, somber demeanor. And that was Jackie's go-to acting idea because he really could not act at the time. And so it was not until 1992 Super Cop, in my opinion, that Jackie became a legitimate actor. And it happened all in this one film. Because right prior to Super Cop, you had The Prisoner, aka Island on Fire, and Jackie's just moody and stone-faced, and he doesn't really do a whole lot, and it's not showing any kind of acting ability. And in his 80s movies, his comedies and stuff, he only reacts to things that are comedic. Like, he'll make a comedic expression of this, but most of the time he just stands there just with no particular mood, playing his part. But in 1992, Stanley Tong obviously had a big effect on Jackie. And Jackie even said in some interviews in more recent years that Stanley Tong could get Jackie to do things Jackie wouldn't do otherwise. And you see in Super Cop that Jackie's character, the continuation of his Kevin Chan character from the Police Story movies, is way more nuanced in this film because Stanley Tong has Jackie be more of a observationist than he is in past films. Jackie reacts to everything in the movie, whether it is comedic or not. It's not just, I react to the comedic things, I react with a serious face to the really serious things. There's all these subtle facial expressions and emotions that Jackie is portraying through the character, and I think Stanley Tong really hammered that into Jackie, because Jackie was still trying to be still wanted to be successful in the United States, and so after Super Cop and Twin Dragons and City Hunter, Jackie did a movie called Crime Story, where he was trying to be, as the director Kirk Wong said, Jackie could only break into the United States films if he did a dramatic role, a serious role. But the problem with that is that with Crime Story, they blended Jackie's comedic style action with Jackie's acting, resorting once again back to his like deadpan voice with very somber, moody attitude. And that's one of the only times Jackie has done this since Super Cop. But Super Cop was a step in the right direction, and it would be proven even further when the next Stanley Tong-Jackie collaboration, Rumble the Bronx, was a big hit in the United States, making Jackie a U.S. star. And so Stanley Tong really opened the door for Jackie to be more expressive, which really came in handy in Jackie's next movie after Super Cop, Twin Dragons, because Jackie has to pretend like there's someone else that like his twin is there, and he's talking to him when his twin's not there at all. So that was really good practice, really good laying the groundwork for Twin Dragons and Jackie's subsequent break into the American cinemas, American movies. And so this continued for a long time. Jackie got roles Shanghai Noon and Medallion, Tuxedo, and Around the World in 80 Days, all these American films where acting is important. Acting is expected. Not that it's not important in the Chinese Hong Kong films, but it's more expected with a U.S. production to convey certain emotion. And so Jackie's doing all these U.S. films. And then you have later on Jackie doing the American movie Spy Next Door, where Jackie's showing off a real rounded, likable, charismatic, but believable character as this spy who's retiring, and it's just so something you can so believe. And Jackie even did a great acting job in 1911, right after he did Karate Kid. But from this point on, Jackie takes a big break from the United States live action films, and his acting suffers for it because he no longer has to reach that level of expertise in the performance aspect of drama or making the audience believe the character that they are seeing. And so from 2012 onward, it's just a downward spiral of losing that, of not utilizing that acting ability, and it just kind of all spirals out of control in his newer movies. Except for, ironically, his return to American films with The Foreigner, where Jackie gives a very good performance. It's a little bit more in the somber style, but Jackie adds a few more layers to it to make it work well. But it's Jackie has to regain his memento from taking that 5-year break from, 5-6 year break from utilizing his acting abilities. And so it's getting to be in better hands. Because, see, the film Jackie was in right before The Foreigner, Kung Fu Yoga, was directed by Stanley Tong, where Stanley Tong, even though the acting isn't that important in the film, Stanley Tong does re-put into place the fact that the acting is important, and you see mild acting from Jackie in the film. And not to mention, coming up this year, 2020's Vanguard is also directed by Stanley Tong. It puts Jackie in more of an action, machine guns. It's a machine guns, action, explosion, car chase kind of movie where Jackie will be able to show the seriousness, because, just the idea of the death and the shooting alone makes it a more dramatic effort on its own. Even though it might not be very dramatic, it definitely requires the acting, which Jackie can continue to reclaim from that hiatus he took through this movie Vanguard. And so Jackie's acting career is looking bright, but I think Jackie needs to collaborate more with Stanley Tong and make more American movies in order to keep that skill at the top of his list and to keep him moving in the right path for his future. And that's what I have to say about when Jackie became a legitimate actor. Until next time, this has been a Splarshy Analysis.